Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept Podcast, where I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. How you doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. You know, we understand that God is always in control, but you got that element of of whatever evil forces there is here on earth that work against your ultimate destiny, that work against you actually getting to your ultimate destiny or whatever wherever you're supposed to be, right? Your ultimate goal in life. You got to realize is that's by design, right? A lot of what we go through on a daily basis, we don't understand that that's by design. You can have a lot of blessings coming your way. People around you can have a lot of blessings coming their way, right? And someone in your immediate circle can be getting attacked by the devil, by some people call it Satan, Shaitan, whatever. Somebody in your immediate circle could be getting attacked by Shaitan or the devil, and that attack on them can affect your blessing, right? The attack on their life and what they going through and everything that they trying to accomplish could attack your blessing too. You know what I mean? We all go through things, and I say it all the time. I don't believe in coincidences. There's systematic consistencies in life. You know what I mean? There's systematic consistencies to spirituality, to any religion, any situation that's happening in life. There's a systematic consistency to it, right? Now, the thing that determines the outcome of that situation, right, or that systematic consistency depends on the the person, right? The personality, the character you are that's in that situation, dealing with that systematic consistency. It determines the outcomes, whether it's going to be good or bad. Now, when you're in any situation, you know what I mean? More than likely, you're in that situation with somebody or whatever. If the enemy is attacking them, right? Because they see like the enemy understands, of course, just like God knows your heart and everything. Unfortunately, the devil or Shaitan, they know your heart, they know your wants, your desires, your feelings, and in a nutshell, they know your thoughts, your desires, your feelings, and what you want and things like that, and they'll give it to you. But at what cost? What will it cost you? Sometimes, ultimately, it can cost you being able to get something accomplished, right? Or you being able to continue doing the things that you do, continue to blow the trumpet that you blow. You know, you know, it's bad that I actually see all this stuff. And I mean, I bear witness to this. I bear witness to the attacks, the personal attacks on family, on friends, on people's relationships, on different world situations. I see the attacks, and many people out here, many spiritual or religious people, they can see these attacks that happen in people's everyday life. Some things are bound to happen. Yeah, some things are bound to just go awry, right? Something's always happening in whatever situation. But sometimes you got to really stop back and look and get the broader picture, right? Get that bigger, broader picture and understand that what you're dealing with is not by chance or mere coincidence. It's a systematic consistency that you're dealing with from Satan or Shaitan or whomever the bad guy is, right? See, God gave us the life to live, but we also are put through scrutiny, through tests, through rigorous testing, of our mental fortitude, of our spiritual fortitude, of our physical fortitude. So many of us fail these tests, right? Especially when you have others in your situation that you're going through it with, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a personal friend, whether that's a family member, whether that's whomever it is, or associate, whoever it is, right? When you're dealing with them, right, you don't know how they're getting attacked because there may be a blessing coming through for both of you. There may be a huge blessing on the end of this, at the end of this interaction or at the end of this situation, right? There could be a huge blessing depending on how both parties handle the situation. If both parties don't handle the situation properly, then one of the parties' blessings could be a little bit lacking, if you understand what I'm saying. You know, it's an intricate world we live in, man. And I mean, when you look at things through a spiritual lens, right? Not so much of a religious lens, but religion can help. Religion can get you to your ultimate spirituality. I think I think a lot of us has to get there, you know what I mean? Because when you're lacking in one area, right? Whether that's spiritual, mental, or physical, right? When you're lacking in one area, the other area kind of takes over, right? But if you're already a pragmatic person who live your life as a decent person, whether that be man or woman, there's less likelihood that you can be taken down by evil means. Sometimes the demons, sometimes the shaitan or Satan attacks you in many different ways. Sometimes shaitan will attack you through a loved one, through a person you're in a relationship with, through through people at work, through all different types of situations, because people really don't know how to conduct themselves or even give a fuck or have the wherewithal to even give a fuck whether you're going through something, right? Some people on a daily basis, they're just caught up in their, not some people, most people, all people for that fucking matter, right? They're so caught up in their everyday living, their everyday doing, their everyday going abouts, that they don't really even know or perhaps even care about the things that you're going through, about the attacks that you're facing. You know what I mean? And right now, in this day and age, like right now, in these times we living in right the fuck now, we getting attacked by so many in so many different ways. It's unfathomable. I mean, in the past it's been like this too. But now it's just so many distractions and so many ways you can be distracted and taken off your square while you're trying to get to point B, right? You at point A, you're trying to get to point B, but it's so many distractions and so many ways that you can be taken off your square by somebody you're involved with, by your family members, by your spouse, your children, this and that. And you don't see this attack coming because you just living your life the way you live your life, right? And you don't see these attacks coming because they're preeminent, right? They're preeminent attacks that's on your life that you don't even see coming. And that's the hard part because in order to avoid these attacks, right? If you want to avoid a certain thing that you see coming, like whether you see a problem coming down the pipe or whatever, sometimes you might have to avoid or shut out someone you love to really stay ahead of whatever attack Satan or Shaitan has planned against you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say it again, and I've been saying this before, right? I never took no oath or nothing like this, but I am a mate. I would call it. I'm not going to proclaim nothing. I do have like a Freemason's mind or insight, right? You know, dealing with these things in that way, and you being able to see everything that's coming about, it would take. I'm gonna tell you, it takes a true understanding between you and who you're with and who's in your life to really not allow Satan or Shaitan to affect your life in many different ways, to impact your life, to hurt you in your everyday life. And I mean, a lot of guys out here, they think it's all about a lot of guys and girls, men and women. They think it's all about money. You know what I mean? The money, it's always a money problem. It's always a infidelity problem, whether this person is, and that's the way that Satan and Shaitan attacks you. right? Me as a man, he would send women my way, right? To see if I'm going to be faithful to the person I'm in a relationship with. If we're talking about on in that type of context, right? We're on that type of context. Send women into a man's life to see if he's going to be faithful to the woman that he's with, right? They do the same thing to a female. The enemy will send men into your woman's life to see if she's going to be faithful or not, to see if you're going to stick it out, to see whether, you know what I mean, this man might have something that you don't got, right? And vice versa. The woman might have something that your lady don't got, which is all bullshit because every woman got the same thing. She just might be a little, she might be able to do a little bit more, or this and that. You know what I mean? It's all different types of situations. But the thing is, will you or the person you're dealing with fall for the temptation, right? Fall for the trap. There's always a trap, right? It's always a trap. Even love can be a trap. You know what I mean? Love can be a trap. Things can happen, situations, and you can get enthralled, right? And all tangled up in his love that you forget other aspects of your life, right? Sometimes it's there for love is mostly there for a good reason, right? It's always a great thing to love. But at the same time, Satan knows that love is one of the, greatest powers on this earth. We get God from I apologize. We get love from God, and you could get love from Satan or Shaitan as well. It's whether that love is true, whether that love is going to be tested in time, right? That love for whomever it is, for whatever situation it is, it will get tested in time. They will see, right? The world will see whether that love is true or not, whether this person is able to really even love somebody. My ultimate thing is this. Um, I love myself. I really do love myself. That's why I'm able to love someone so fucking hard and so fucking dearly and just be there for them, right? Whether I'm up, whether I'm down, whatever my situation is, when I love somebody, I'm there for them. 100, 100, 1000 fucking percent. Always been this way, right? You got a lot of people out here claim to be loyal or humble. I'm one of the ones that's really the most loyalist, humblest dude that you could find, right? I'm not always right in every aspect of my life, but I'm always there. I'm dependable. You can count on me. Always been this way, right? That type of thing emanates. I apologize. I went into talking about myself and forgot the whole, theme or whatever. Anyway, the concept, I mean. Anyway, being that type of person, it makes you susceptible to a lot of attacks by Satan or Satan through other people because a lot of people will use your kindness for weakness, whether that's in your personal life, in your family life, in your relationship, this and that. A lot of people will try to see that waking big plan. A lot of people or Satan or Satan, right, working through people will always try to exploit the weaknesses in you, right? The weaknesses in somebody somebody you're moving forward with, somebody you're continuing life with, somebody you're building this relationship or this bond with, right? If Satan or Satan sees that it can't attack you, then it's just going to go for the weaker of the two, right? It's going to go for the one who might be out there a little more, who might be more into their addiction, who might be more into the world. Period. You know what I mean? They'll go after them. They'll try to hold on to them and make you lose faith or lose sight of the goal of the mission that you had in this life, right? Because all of us got a mission, all of us got a goal, something we're trying to achieve. Yeah, we all live in life, but your heart desires never goes away throughout this entire life span that you have, right? Since you're a baby, your heart desires never go away. They will never go away. There's something that you're passionate about so deeply that it would just never go away, right? And when you get down to the etymology of what that is, right? When you get down to the brass tacks, right? the bare bone minimum of what that is, your goal that you had to accomplish in life, right? That's when that goal becomes set. And once that goal becomes set, right? Once you have that set, now you have many obstacles in front of you. Because now Shaitan or Satan understands that you're in the mind frame of actually getting there. You're in the mind frame of actually making this shit happen and actually accomplishing, right? And that's one of the most heavenly things on earth. Why wouldn't the Satan or Shaitan want to stop you from getting there, right? I mean, the only way he's not trying to stop you if you're working with him. If you're working with Satan and Shaitan, then yeah, they'll let the world is your oyster. But if you're not working with Shaitan and Satan, needless to say, your fucking road, your path to getting to wherever the fuck it was that you were trying to go to get whatever achievement that you're trying to achieve is blocked. It's got all type of, not blocked, but it's all type of obstacles and hurdles, right? Ones that the world is putting in front of you, ones that you yourself is putting in front of you. Because this thing I told you is systematic consistencies, right? If we're talking systematic consistencies, then we're talking something else. Because now we got to talk about the naturalness of systematic consistencies, which is you. You are the it factor. What do you love to do? What is the things that you love to do? And then what will happen is Shaitan or sin or Shaitan or Satan will start using your own nature against you. And that's what's so fucking hard because a lot of people don't see this coming. I got a friend, an older friend, right? He always say, you can't even see you coming. You can't see you coming because you're your own biggest hurdle. You're your own biggest obstacle because you are the person you are, because you have the heart that you have, because you have the feelings and emotions that you have. Now, some of us are drawn to money. Some of us love glitz and glamour. Some of us love having the latest fashions on. Some of us love money. Some of us love women. Some of us love this. Some of us love love. I love love. I love who love me. And I'm faithful to a fault with that. So a lot of times I find myself in situations where it's attacks of love. It's an attack on me with love. Like, you know what I mean? It's like to attack me, you attack the ones that I love, the one that I'm being there for. So attack me. To attack me is to try to attack the people I love, right? Or the yeah, the people I love or the things I love or this or that, right? That's how you attack me. Because to me, I might not be a rich man, right? Um, shit, you know what I mean? I might not be a rich man, but money doesn't really mean a lot to me. I mean, I need it. We all need money to live and things like that. But I'm not a money hungry person is what I'm trying to say. I've never been a greedy type of person, right? So you can't attack me with that, right? I do love love. I do love who I love, you know, and I love what I love. But at the same time, that's the only way they could attack me. And in a lot of ways, this is the truth for a lot of people out there because you love something, whether that's money, whether that's drugs, whether that's sex, whether that's just hobbies, whatever the case may be. You get attacked through what you love a lot of times. Not a lot of times, but this is what happens. When you start to notice the things that you love or the people you love or whatever isn't returning the same love that you have back. And you feel slighted about that. You feel slighted in the most sincere way. Like you feel like somebody stabbed you in your heart because you're giving out your pureness. You're giving out that love. You're giving out something that many don't give. And then for Shaitan to attack them and show you that the love that you have isn't the same love that they may have for you. Because the test is two sides like a Chinese finger trap. The test is two-sided. You think that you're the only one being tested. But whomever you're cultivating something with is being tested as well. You know? The test is ultimately to see whether you two can make it through tough times or not. And if you two can have the same mindset, and I'm speaking on personal relationships, but if you're in a relationship with a woman and you two can have the same mindset and be on the same page at all time, and don't let outside influences affect what you have and what you're building as a couple, right? And persevere through whatever tests, whatever hardships, whatever trials that you may be going through presently in the moment, well, that's when you'll see that your lives will be more blessed. You'll be more blessed in abundance because you didn't give in. Sometimes the test is just to see whether you're going to give in. Sometimes the test is to better yourself as a person while you with a person for the betterment of both of you, right? For the betterment of not just yourself, not just myself, for the both of you. You know, I'm 39 years old. I done been through numerous situations. I mean, very fucked up situations. And it's shown me a lot because I'm the type of person I can actually sit down and have an intelligent thought, conversation, even in my own mind about these situations or whatever that I've been facing or I've been going through. And many people don't do that. They just take whatever they've been going through for face value. They take it at face value like it's not all face value. There's a lesson and a message in everything that you go through. In everything that you go through, there's a lesson and a message. You have to receive that message. You have to learn that lesson. If you don't, you're going to make the same mistake again. And Satan or Shaitan is just somewhere laughing at your dumb ass, laughing it up. Because it's amusing to see you go through shit. All of this is recorded. This whole life is recorded. All is seen, heard, and recorded through our eyes, through our mouths, through our ears, through our feelings and the things that we go through every day. And I know this. Trials and tribulations and obstacles that you face just makes for a greater show. That's what it makes a greater show. This life isn't the end all be all to everything. There's more to this life than you may think. There's more to this life than just the life that you live. There's a lesson in it. There's a message. Some will never learn, grow, and evolve into who they were supposed to be in no lifetime that they live. Because they'll never get these messages. They'll never get the message. They'll never learn the lesson. Right now, living for me is so surreal because I can see it. I can see the messages. I see the lessons and I see the messages. At times, I'm very dismissive of certain circumstances, right? Of certain things because I love so much and I care so deeply that I'll put myself in a bad situation to make sure that somebody else is okay. And I can't help it. That's just who I am. That's my that's my role to play in all of this, right? In this life, that's my role to play. I do have a goal. I do have things that I want to achieve, right? But at the same time, on the way to achievement and to completing my mission and getting my goals accomplished, you might have a fork in the road where you have to do this or you feel like you have to do that for whatever reason it is, and it's just like, okay, you can know a person or you could be with a person and they not really understand what you go through on a daily basis, right? Or what you've been through in the past, right? That's why when I'm me personally, when I'm getting to know somebody, getting close with somebody, I like to learn about them, right? Because I want to know who I'm dealing with, right? I want to know what they're going through. This way I could help them in any way that I could possibly help them. You know what I mean? If I'm able to help them with that certain situation or certain problem, then I will. And most times, in most instances, I can help out. I could, put a band-aid on something. You know what I mean? I could figure out something to do this and do that. I'm like I'm a MacGyver of life, right? Anybody remember the show MacGyver? I'm like a lifestyle MacGyver. You know what I mean? I don't know everything about everything, but I know a little bit about a lot. Let's say it that way. Um, it's just that, man. And to be honest, I'm not a selfish person, so I'm the type that I do what I have to. Like I'll sit up here and I'll be broke. I'll be like not broke because I'm never broke. Mentally, spiritually, physically, I'm never broken, right? But pockets, money may be funny. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Money may be funny, and I would still give my last. I would still give my last to my children, to my lady, to get something that I have to get accomplished so I can, progress in life or whatever. I give my last for that, right? Because money is a tool to me. Money is not something to be had and held and hold on to for the rest of your fucking life because it's money. It's meant to just go. You know what I mean? I don't weigh too heavily on that. I use it as a tool. That's it. You know. Um, so a lot of the times that's the attacks that I get. And I understand why, because I fight so hard and I fight against the system that works with Satan and Shaitan. Because you got to realize, right? This government is fully on board with the demonic agenda, right? The system, the government we live in is fully on board with the demonic agenda. And people don't realize that, you know? It only take a few button pushes. It only take a few taps of a button, a few this or that to fuck your life up in a lot of different ways. I mean, the government proves that all the time with, the government shutdowns that they're going through and the bullshit elections that they do. I heard that they're going to stop letting us vote and every fucking thing. It's like it's coming to a head where a lot of people already know, but a lot more people are starting to find out what's really going on here in America. It's a sad dichotomy we live in. It's a dichotomy that we live in. It's not really a society anymore because society has been brainwashed, dumbed down by commercials, by social media, by YouTube, by the streams, by the TV shows, by the music, by everything. We've been bamboozled on a lot of different ways that you think that we've been bamboozled, man. We've been fucked over in a lot of different ways by just our lifestyle as Americans. Like, don't get me wrong, even me, I've been fucked over by this life, by this American lifestyle, a lot of different ways too. You know, we for a long time we just put our thoughts and attention in the wrong areas. That's ultimately what it boils down to. Your thoughts and attentions being anywhere other than where it needs to be for you to progress in life. It's real shit. It's a battle that we all face, an unsaid battle that we all face within our own lives every day. We look at the TV and we look at the news and the media and things like that, and we see the battles that America faces as a whole. But you also have a personal battle of your own that you fight and that you're facing, turmoil that you got to get through and problems and things like that. And at times it seems like nobody give a fuck about that. Nobody give a fuck about your personal struggle and the things that you going through in life. Because guess what? They got some shit bothering them in their life. And not only that, they got a lot of shit to watch and look at and listen to distract them from giving a fuck about you, about the shit that you going through. Shit, they got shit to distract them and amuse them to the point where they don't even give a fuck about what they're going through in their own life. So how the fuck did they take time to give a fuck about what you going through in your life if they don't even give a fuck about what's going on in their own life? And using all the distractions in the world to distract them from actually tackling the things that they got to tackle in their fucking life, i.e., music, TV, celebrities, drugs, whatever the case may be, right? Got a lot of shit to distract them. They see their problems and they say, Fuck the problems. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna smoke, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that to get away, take my mind off the things that I really gotta, the real problems in my life. I gotta take my mind off of that. So I'm gonna go clubbing, or I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go do this, instead of actually cleaning up your fucking house. Cleaning up your house. I'm not talking about like your place. I'm talking about your house. Cleaning your mind up. Cleaning your mind up. Protecting your mental, protecting your spirit, protecting your physical, and just being there to just, take an account, take accountability for what you've done, right? When you were deceived to fuck up your own situation. Take an account for the things that you've done to fuck up your own progress. See, I take into account all those things all the time. And I don't mind. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't mind, because I do mind very much holding up my own progress. It's a fucking problem of mine, because I would jump to help somebody just as well as somebody, would jump to help. I would jump to help somebody. I put myself in a bad situation just to make sure somebody else is okay. You know, that's one thing that's something that I do appreciate about the woman I'm with, because she, we work together a lot. We work together a lot, and we made it through a lot and been through a lot so far. Even though I haven't been in a relationship for very long, but so far it's a partnership. It's a giving us a take there. She understands me and I understand her, and we battling together to try to you know make sure everything stays on the up and up, that things stay on the progress. Yeah, right. Because we all want to just progress in life and meet our achievements and goals and just live a happy life. And right now, where I'm at, to be honest with you, you know, I got somebody that I want to, be there for, and you know, they're there for me. So that's cool. But at the same time, even us in our everyday life, we getting attacked. We getting attacked by all types of shit. You know, it happens. We get attacked through feelings, through emotions, through situations that may have happened in the recent past. We get attacked through people just popping up, random fucking people from the past just will pop up to say hey or whatever, and try to strike some type of relationship up or whatever. That's what happens. Whenever you find yourself happy with somebody, you'll see outside people try to get involved in your relationship, or try to deter this person from being with you, or throw a monkey wrench in the fucking operation, throw a monkey wrench into y'all relationship, so y'all don't go to the full term, right? So y'all never even, you know, and it's fucked up, but it's that way. But I understand that this is even by design. You know, relationship manipulation is one of Satan's and Shaitan's easiest forms of breaking a person, right? Because Shaitan will attack a relationship at the same time. They'll use the duality of your union, right? And really put it to the test, put the screws to it, send men to your women and send women to the man, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Send men to the woman with whatever the man, you know, then she got him on that side. You know what I mean? It's just it's a big Ponzi scheme. I mean, I see through it all now. And that doesn't mean that I don't still fall victim to the bullshit, right? Because we do, right? This is life. This is the game that we playing, right? It's just sometimes you get a good dice roll and sometimes you don't, right? Sometimes you figure, you know what? I can make it through this situation, and we could get our shit, we could get it. We got it, right? We got this. We good, right? But then Shaitan got something else on his mind. Satan got something else on his mind. We say, okay, you got it. Well, let's see if you can handle this. Then they put more on your plate, more on your plate. For me, it seems like it's a never ending battle. Just when you think you got one area covered, another area is being attacked, right? Just when you think you got one area covered, another area is being attacked. This and that. I'm trying to get it right, man. I'm tired of playing games with life in general. I'm tired of playing the games. I mean, I know we all doomed to play the game. I mean, it's life, right? To not play the game of life, it means that you want to die. And I'm not dying no time soon. I'm not going to hurt myself like people in the past have done, that I loved. I'm not going to hurt myself. And I pray and wish that people out there watching this or whoever's receiving this message stop hurting themselves too. Because hurt people hurt people. Plus, once you hurt yourself, you give the idea to someone that, or not you give the idea, your action allows Shaitan or Satan to use that, to implant that image or that memory in somebody else's mind, so that way they can think that they could take that way out too by hurting themselves. Can't do it. I've been hurt in my life from death too many times. I've been hurt in my life through infidelity. You know what I mean? Through being with somebody who just can't seem to be with you, right? Somebody who just can't, right? I done been hurt by I've been hurt for trying to help. Ain't that some fucked up shit? You could be hurt for trying to help. Because like I said, in the past I've been known to help people to my detriment, right? And it's like you could be hurt for just trying to help, just trying to be there. You could be hurt for that. Um, you know, you could be hurt through your children. You could be hurt in many different ways out here. There's many different ways that the enemy, i.e., Shaitan or Satan, excuse my tongue twistedness, can attack you out here. There's many ways. This is why people flock to religion in the numbers that they do, whether that's Islam, whether that's Christianity, whether that's Catholic, whatever it is, whatever your faith is, people flock to these religions. And I'm damn sure not saying that you're safe within a religion, but at least within that religion, if you handle the lessons and the teachings right, it'll allow you to build up a foundation, right? A foundation where you're not susceptible to all the bullshit that's going on out here in the world. Because that's what it is. It's the worldly thing. Most people, when they go into a church, a synagogue, or a mosque or something like that, their mind is free. That they're clear, that their thoughts are more clearer. Because it seems like the voice of Shaitan or Satan turns down. It's like just being in a holy place or a holy building that somebody turned down the subconscious voice that's in your mind, right? That space where you can hear Satan and Satan talking, right? At times, somebody turns that down. Could it be the creator? Could it be God? I think so, because you sought out a place to worship. You sought out this place, whether it was because somebody forced you or whether you took yourself and just sat in that pew or in that aisle or in that mosque or whatever, and started praying and started the process of connecting with God. You know, that's why that voice is turned down in those moments. You know, we got to get to a space in our life where that voice of Satan and Satan, that Satan and Shaitan voice that's emanating in your subconscious, you got to get to a place in your everyday life where that voice is turned down to almost a mute, right? You want to mute that voice in your everyday life. That's the foundation that spirituality gives you. That's the foundation that you could build with religion if you actually allow it to get to that point. If you actually allow, you know what I mean, whatever wicked thoughts, whatever evil deed, whatever you're doing, once you let that go, once you rise above that, right? The world has less influence on your life. When you're not addicted to substances, when you're not addicted to whatever, you know what I mean? Some people have a lack thereof of sex and a lack thereof of money or whatever, and then they let that greed for whatever it is drive them into a bad situation. That you know, this is why a lot of people say Jesus take the wheel. You know what I mean? Because they're in a car, and if you don't have full control of that car, then who has control, right? Who has control if you don't have control of that car, right? That's the thing about it, man. It's yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I'm about to end this episode though. I just wanted to get on here and talk because I haven't been on my podcast doing my podcast in a while. Um, I haven't been, you know, I haven't been doing my podcast. I haven't been doing no book drop offs or whatever, nothing like that. I've been busy in my everyday life, just trying to move ahead, trying to get forward, trying to, achieve. And I have been, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the people that I have in my life on a daily basis. I'm thankful for, well, most people that I have in my life, you know. Just thankful, man. I'm thankful for a mind that can actually think and decode all of this. You know, it makes my situation, right? And it makes things that I'm going through more bearable to understand that a lot of what's going on isn't my fault. A lot of what's going on in my life is an attack, right? It's a blatant attack by Satan and Satan. A lot of what's going on in my life is just a blatant attack. We have to all realize that a lot of the things that we go through in life are just blatant attacks by Satan and Satan and Shaitan, right? By demonic forces out here to get you to think unclear or get you to think more clearly. It's all an attack. And the sooner that you realize that, the sooner you rise above whatever attack that's happening to you, right? The sooner you become a new you, the sooner you can transform yourself and start living in your truth, right? And it's not saying that the attacks is going to stop. It's not saying that, but you're more equipped, you're more prepared to deal with the things that Satan and Satan is going to try to attack you with. So we all have to be strong in this way, man. I like to appreciate you all for joining me for another episode of God Concept Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. Please go out and read some books, more literature coming, more music coming too, and of course, more episodes of God Concept Podcast. You have a blessed Sunday and be great. Peace.